Stand by, guys. If you're with me here, I am just making sure everything's working, and we'll have a little chat this morning. Okay. Hey, Jelly Duck, Richard. Glad you guys are here. Stand by here. I was just trying to share this out to my Facebook page, but I'm terrible at this stuff, so I can't figure it out. Anyway, let's just go ahead and come back on here. Hey guys, good morning. Saturday morning. It is 5:45 Pacific time where I'm at in Washington State. And Rage, good morning to you. Hi there again, Richard, Jelly Duck. Thanks for being here this morning, you guys. Honestly, this was kind of an impromptu thing here. I just decided that I've been obviously coronavirus has been everywhere you look. I work in the news. I'm talking about it constantly for my job. And I just wanted to open up the conversation to you guys, my viewers, and just get your perspectives. I'm not going to offer necessarily any opinions or theories or obviously advice because I'm not a doctor, but I just wanted to hear from you guys and see what you're dealing with, because here in Washington State, obviously we are in the epicenter of what's going on here in the U.S. side of things. So, Ridge, good morning to you, man. Thanks for being here. So yeah, the purpose of this is to provide some context, some obviously some stats, some actual facts. I'm not, like I say, going to provide any theories, but I want to hear from you guys and hear what your thoughts are as a member of the media. I mean, obviously, it's our job to talk about it, but I'd love to get your guys' perspective on the coverage that you're seeing. Also to get your thoughts on what's happening where you live. Let us know where you're at and what you're seeing. Hey, Angel Munez, Variety Show. Thanks for being here, man. Here actually just yesterday afternoon, our governor of Washington State, Jay Inslee, shut down all schools until April 24th, statewide. Now I have two kids, I have a first grader and a fifth grader, and they won't be going to school until almost May. And who knows, maybe that changes depending on what happens between here and there. I know there's other states that have had that happen too. And obviously other countries are in complete shutdown. Italy's getting hit really hard right now. I want to show you guys a quick, if you were here at the top, you saw this, but this is an updated kind of a deal that the Johns Hopkins puts together. And they've really been, Johns Hopkins University, they've really been really proactive and a great resource for any information on coronavirus. But you can see this is their latest numbers here as of right now. 147,653 total confirmed cases. You can see China followed by Italy, Iran. There's the list on the left. The U.S. now with 2,174 cases. And so, and a lot of those are here in my home state of Washington. Richard says, being frontline service during this coronavirus, all I can say is, can we talk about Brexit again, please? Yeah, I mean, Richard, again, if you guys don't know, Richard, is a emergency responder, and um, he's putting himself out there each and every time he checks into work. I know, I'm sure, Richard, I'd be curious to know what kind of extra precautions are you guys having to take? Ridge says, I'd like to remind everyone that toilet paper is not the only thing you need to survive if there's an apocalypse. Yeah. My wife actually just laid down the law, Ridge, last night on our family, said, hey guys, go easy on the TP because she can't find any. So, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy when you look at what's happening at some of the grocery stores and things. It's absolutely insane. Just empty shelves everywhere. Ridge, in Montana, we've only had a few confirmed cases. However, I'm the head of a film festival that we may need to cancel. Well, yeah, in fact, Ridge, I do a statewide newscast every morning for Montana. And I know that as of yesterday, there was only one confirmed case when I was working yesterday morning. And that person was in Maryland. They actually they weren't even in the state of Montana, but they were technically from there. So they counted it. But now that could have changed since yesterday morning when I was anchoring the show, Wake Up Montana. But Montana's been one of the states that's in Idaho that have been very, they've kind of dodged it so far, but they do believe that there are a lot of people that have it and they just don't know it yet. Angel, you'll have to come on and talk about it. Yeah, I don't know how to even do that, Angel, but I mean, feel free to chat with us here. Give me your thoughts. I mean, that's what this is for. I don't mean this to be like a real serious, doom and gloom kind of thing. I just kind of wanted to get everybody's thoughts and perspectives. A lot of us are essentially in lockdown. Yeah, Jilly Duck, until the 24th of April, my kids will not be going to school. I mean, it's a pretty, I've never seen anything like this happen before with the schools. I was supposed to MC an event tonight for juvenile diabetes. They have a camp that they do every summer for kids with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. And it was at the convention center. There was going to be 400 people there. Big fundraiser. It's had to be canceled. Again, any groups, any schools out. School's been canceled till the 24th of April. But also conventions, anything that requires or anything that has over 250 people, they're saying you can't do it. So, that's having a huge impact on a lot of things going on. Things like fundraisers for kids with diabetes. It's when you think about stuff like that, it's really a bummer. I feel so bad for the people that worked basically all year to put this event together. It was an auction and a dinner, and they were going to raise probably over $100,000 easily. Gone. Richard, hard situation. Protocols change every day. New information. Yeah, it is. It's literally changing by the hour. People are frustrated at the lack of information, but forget that it's a new virus and we don't know a lot. Yeah, it really has tested the patience, Richard, of a lot of people. That's for sure. And that's a factor. Ridge says his opinion doesn't mean to get political, but thinks all the media coverage is to slightly steer the attention away from the election. Huh. Yeah, I mean, Ridge, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously I can't get into politics and all that stuff here just based on what I do. But that's certainly a theory. And I would be more than happy to hear your guys' thoughts on the media coverage, because I mean, it's what I do. And you don't want to belittle a situation like this because people are dying and getting sick, and it's certainly newsworthy. However, in comparison to things like the flu, it pales as of right now. But again, there's a bit of an unknown there, and so I think that's what's got a lot of people spooked, because we've seen what's happened in Italy right now and in Europe, essentially. Obviously, it started in China, but their numbers are the biggest right now. But it sounds like they are starting to come down at last check. But there's an unknown here, and so that's part of the reason I think there's such a I don't want to call it hype, but it kind of is. People are scared, and sometimes it's hard to put things into context, to put things into perspective. Comparing it to things that have happened in the past, or so. Serious matter. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Ridge. I totally do. I mean, there are times when I'm doing the news, and we're doing 6-7 straight minutes of it right off the top of the show, where you're wondering, I mean, are there things more important that we should be talking about? But the truth of the matter is, I mean, especially given where I'm at, I get why our coverage is so extreme, if you will. I mean, because again, here in Washington State, especially on the west side, for those of you that don't know the state of Washington very well, it's kind of a divided state. So you've got Seattle over on the west side, you've got the Cascade Mountains that run kind of down the middle, and then Eastern Washington, and I'm on the far eastern portion of Washington in Spokane, almost on the Idaho border. It's a completely different climate, completely different. It's different in a lot of ways, and we actually do not have at this point one single confirmed case of coronavirus in Spokane County, my whole county. We're talking about a county of roughly 500,000 people. But again, the governor, because of what's happened on the west side, and there have been some confirmed cases that have made it over to the east side of the mountains. The governor has shut down schools for the entire state. And so it's newsworthy. And again, with all of the events being canceled, the run, like we were talking about, Ridge, on things at the grocery store, it's something that we're obligated to report on. So, but I do understand what you're saying. I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this live stream this morning. I mean, I've been thinking about it for a couple days now, just wanted to get on and chat about this, because I know it's on a lot of people's minds, and I thought it might be interesting for you guys to get my perspective on it, just because I'm one of the, thousands that are delivering the news to people every day. But yeah, and I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning anyway. So I brewed a pot of coffee, and we can have some fun here too, guys. This doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. But I thought, why not? Let's pop on and see if somebody's up and go from there. While I'm waiting for some more comments here, guys, I'm going to bring up a different map. So let me do this real quick here. We're going to stop the screen share, and we're going to share this one right here. Okay. So this is this particular site is Worldometer, and I've found it to be pretty accurate as well. You can see there's some ads over here. Just ignore those, or I mean, if you want some Frosted Flakes, then then look them up. But actually, that sounds kind of good right now, to be honest. You can see the death total here, confirmed cases, also recovered. That's something we don't hear a lot about, but 72,000 people worldwide. So roughly half of the people of the confirmed cases have recovered. Active cases, you can see closed cases here. 93% have recovered and been discharged. The other 7% died. That is one thing about this, is it does have a particularly high mortality rate, especially for, the elderly and those that have underlying conditions. Okay, so here is again, this is reset after midnight. So this is about 6 hours old. But you can see China did have 13 new deaths. Iran, 97 new deaths. South Korea, 5. 1 new death in the U.S. I have not seen exactly where that came from, what state. 2 in Switzerland, 1 in Sweden, 1 in Belgium, 2 in Greece. These are deaths. These aren't cases. These are deaths. 1 in Iraq, 3 in the Philippines, 1 in Algeria, 1 in Bulgaria. You can see the detail on this. This is really breaks it down by country, and it looks like so 128 total new deaths here since it was updated at midnight. I'm assuming that that's a 24-hour update that they do. Last updated 11:40 GMT on the 14th. So that just gives you an idea of what's happened in the last few hours. I thought that was interesting there. Again, this is worldometers.info. If you want to look this stuff up, that's what that one is. And then we can hop off of that. Ridge, you always wake up early in the morning too. Used to work for the Kalispell news station. Oh, cool, man. I love that area, Kalispell. Whitefish. Beautiful. Actually played golf in Kalispell once. Big mountain. Can't remember what it's called. Something like that. Nice course. Richard, stats are also biased in the UK. The only people who are being tested are people with severe symptoms, those with mild symptoms, and simply being told to self-isolate. Yeah, and so that is, Richard, that's a great point. And in fact, yesterday during a press conference, several different press conferences, one of them by the president here in the U.S., President Trump, and some other people as well. But they were talking about the testing, and that has been an issue. And they're basically, one of the things that came out of it is they are privatizing that to where they can crank out some more. They, from what I understood, watching the press conference, and they had this one of the tippity top doctors, I can't remember his name, but he talked about how the testing that they had available was not set up for something to cover, millions of people, like they want to be able to do now. So they are now basically bringing in some private companies to try and expedite the process of those and hopefully get more people tested, because that's a great point, Richard. We, a lot of people that maybe should be tested haven't been yet. And so the numbers, you have to kind of take with a grain of salt, so to speak, that we don't know. We probably really don't know the true numbers. In fact, most of the medical experts have said as much. Like, look, we don't know. We think there are a lot more people that have it. So my guess is, I think they're hoping to get that cranked up in the next couple of days, and we'll start to see more tests, and we'll probably start to see more cases because of that. The other map that I had, if you were here at the beginning, you guys, that I want to share, it's a great resource. Hey, High Heel Night Reviews. Popping in for a quick hello and thanks. Thanks for helping keep people calm and informed. Hey, man, you bet, High Heel Nights. I appreciate you popping in this morning. Yeah, that was kind of the point here. Let's just have a chat, no preaching, no, all of that. We're just, let me know what you're seeing in your areas, guys, if you're comfortable sharing. Again, if you're High Heel, my state of Washington, the governor yesterday afternoon shut down school statewide. My 2 kids, first and fifth graders, they will not be going to school until April the 27th at the earliest. So, yeah, like 5 weeks. Events are being canceled that involve people that involve, excuse me, crowds of over 250 people. And so it's affecting a lot of lives, and a lot of parents are going to be scrambling now for childcare because of it too. So, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to share this map, and let's see, stop that, and then we're going to go here because this one is probably the most illustrative that I've seen. It's Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Resource Center. Johns Hopkins University has been really on top of things from the beginning of this, but they have got a ton of information on here. In fact, let me bring this up full, and I'll scroll through it. I mean, obviously, you can see the hot spots here: China, Europe, U.S. We're starting to see some spots pop up in South America and Africa. Not as bad. We zoom out, Australia has had some issues as well. But it also breaks down confirmed cases by country. Over here on the left, you can see that. Over here on the right, total deaths, and it breaks that down by country, even states. Like you can see right here, 37 deaths, Washington State. I mean, this is behind China, Italy, Iran, Spain, France, South Korea, and then Washington State, as far as an area goes that has the most deaths in the world because of this. Richard, 10 in the UK. I know that we're expecting that to go up. Anyway, and then here's the total recovered, and they have a lot more than just this. I won't get into all of that, but a really good map here to kind of keep track of things in real time. And this again is Johns Hopkins coronavirus. If you just Google that, you'll find it. So another good resource. I know at this time, a lot of people are looking for, they want some resources that they can trust, because part of this whole thing there has been a lot of, misinformation spread. So I'm only sharing with you resources that I trust as a journalist. Ridge, we used to have a Creston auction that ran for 70 years for the fire department, but this year they canceled it for the first time. Wow. 70 years running, brought down by coronavirus. That's too bad. But that is happening everywhere. High Hill Nights reviews. Went shopping yesterday, bought what I could, ordered some more stuff from Amazon, Whole Foods, but customer options were limited. Yeah, we were talking about that night. My wife was actually just kind of telling the family last night, go sparingly on the TP because she couldn't find any. And I've heard that from a lot of people. Sister's kids in New Jersey will probably not go to school for the rest of the month. I don't know about my brother's kids in Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's been a few states that have already shut the schools down, Washington being one of them. And again, not until the end of April. 5 weeks. Hey, Cute Japan Item Movies is here, a new follower, and thank you so much for that and for being here. Even in Japan, mildly ill patients are not tested. I do not know the actual number of patients. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's not just the testing thing isn't just a U.S. issue. Obviously, what I see, I think South Korea has been really aggressive about the testing and are starting to get a handle on things. I think they're testing upwards of, what did I see? Maybe a couple 100,000 people a day. And so, it really boils down to, if you think you've got symptoms, first of all, from what we're hearing, you need to just stay home, clearly. As far as if and when you should get tests, a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of people are doing these by phone diagnoses now. And maybe Richard, if you're still here, maybe you can speak to that a little bit. They're also doing the drive-through window testing now, trying to limit the exposure of people, like having to go into a doctor's office and things like that. But testing is huge, and we definitely need to see more of it done, I guess, to get a better understanding of where we're at with this. By the way, you guys, this is designed to talk about coronavirus, and certainly that is the focus of this live stream, but we can open it up to whatever. This is, I kind of just did this on the spur of the moment. So drinking some coffee and chatting with you guys and enjoying myself here. The rest of my family's still sleeping, and I've got nothing to do. It's 6 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. Time is it where you're at, Cute Japan? I don't know the time change. Woke up with a really, I felt it when I was sleeping last night too. Something woke me up and I turned my head, and I have neck problems, have for a long time, from lugging around a 30-pound camera back when I was a news photojournalist. It was always on my right shoulder. And ever since then, my left side of my neck, I've got issues with it. And I think it's because it was always trying to kind of counter the weight. Anyway, I tweaked it last night, and it's really bugging me this morning. Hey, Greg Marks is in the house. Bacon, eggs, no toilet paper. Oh, Greg. Got two 12 packs at Rosar's, $25. No diapers for his baby girl, Sophia. Yeah, people are taking advantage. Shoot, man. I'm sorry, Greg. I don't get it. The run on toilet paper has just been mind-boggling to me. Like, I don't know, of all the things when this whole coronavirus thing started, like, toilet paper, like, I don't know, man. I mean, because you got flu-like symptoms, you're sneezing and stuff, and I would have thought maybe more along the lines of Kleenex, but toilet paper, $25 for two 12 packs. Now, I got to be honest, I don't know what those typically go for, Greg, because my wife Erin does all of the grocery shopping. She doesn't let me do it because I always come back with a bunch of crap that we don't need because I impulse buy. Ridge, I did not know that wiping your bum harder will cure you of the virus. That is some very insightful knowledge there, sir. Very good stuff, Ridge. Thank you for that. Richard, there is actual psychology behind the toilet paper hoarding. It's quite amusing. So tell me more, Richard, because I'm super curious about this. So is it because, I mean, let's be honest, is it because people think they're going to get sick and they're going to be, getting diarrhea and going through a bunch of toilet paper? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, that's the obvious choice, but I mean, good grief. Like, when you get the flu, do you go out and hoard a bunch of TP? I don't. Does anybody? I want to know that psychology, Richard. Rich. By the way, Greg, if you've got leftovers, feel free to bring those bacon and eggs by. Maybe we can work out some kind of deal. Although I don't know, man. Aaron probably wouldn't let me trade TP for bacon and bacon and eggs this morning. It's a hot commodity, obviously. How much is it, dude? How much is a normal like 12 pack that you're paying $25 for 2 of them? So that's $12.50 a pop. Aren't they normally like $5, $6? What kind of toilet paper are you buying, man? Are you getting like gold lined? Just so you guys know, Greg Marks is a friend, a family friend, and if you saw our live stream a couple weeks ago, he actually had me made, and I didn't want to wear it for this, Greg. I mean, talking coronavirus and all, but he had me custom made a Rad Rogers hat. Yeah, pretty sweet. I'm going to work that into a future Rad Rogers video. I haven't done a Rad video in a while, and so I'm cooking some ideas for that. But I'll definitely be working that hat into the mix. And what other video ideas? Anybody else have some video ideas they're working on? Want some input from the community here about something we could talk about as well? Again, any thoughts on coronavirus, whether it's resources that you, if you want some advice on some resources to look things up that you can trust, if you want to talk about media coverage, whatever, I'm here for you. You know it's going to happen, and you usually know it will last a couple days, and you can prepare by being somewhat rational with what you buy. Yeah, that's the other thing, Richard, and maybe that's something. Ow, see, there's my neck again. Richard, what is the public health issues we have no idea about the time or intensity, and we get messages on a daily basis, go into panic mode and buy more than what we need. Yeah. International sign for panic. It would be a traffic warning sign with a toilet paper roll in the middle. Toilet paper has a longer shelf life than many food items. It's prominently featured in aisles and is big in size. We're psychologically drawn to purchasing it in times of crisis. Really? I mean, I believe that. It all kind of makes sense. Fascinating. Ridge, here's a helpful tip. Worst case scenario, no sarcasm. If worst comes to worst, you can use paper towels for toilet paper, phone book pages, absolute last resort, dish rags, and then you wash them. Yeah, I mean, I actually, you guys want to hear something crazy? We were actually talking about this yesterday in a commercial break during our broadcast at work. And people were talking about bidets and stuff like that. And I'm like, you could take like a hose. You could take like a hose and hook it up to your faucet and run it to your toilet, and wash things off that way if things really got out of hand, right? I mean, I'd rather do that than some of the other options. Chloe laughed at you when you said you were panic buying. It was nice to see Chloe yesterday, Greg. She came by and hung out with my daughter, Marin, for a little while, and it was nice to see them hanging out again. It's been a while. Basically, one person coughed and 100 people crapped their pants. Sure, that's about right. It's about right. What are your guys' thoughts on here come the memes. What are your guys' thoughts on things being shut down, events being canceled, schools being closed? Because, I get both sides of the argument. I would be curious to know your guys' thoughts on that. And especially in, hot zones, states or what have you that have a lot of cases. Some of the memes have been amazing. I can only imagine, you guys. I'm not a big meme guy. In fact, Greg, usually the only time I see memes are when you send them to me. They're usually pretty damn funny, though. Is anybody else living in an area that is having restrictions put on, schools or events, things like that? I got to go get some more coffee, guys. I'm going to pop this map back up real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Dave Jelly Duck says, what do you call a group of rappers with coronavirus? The Wuhan Clan. Yeah, that was one of the original things that came out, Jelly Duck. That was, I think in a matter of seconds, once it was discovered that this all started in Wuhan, China, they started talking about that. Dave says he knows a great joke about coronavirus. Probably won't get it though. Well, try us, Dave. You never know. You're from London? Well, hey, Richard is from the UK, so if I don't get it, at least maybe he will. UK is talking about herd immunity by allowing people to contract the coronavirus and develop community immunity, thus stopping the virus in its tracks. I don't know if that sounds like a good idea, but like I say, I'm not a doctor, so I rarely get a date with my wife, and we had joke. Oh, wait. Are you talking about Jojo Siwa? You guys are going to go to Jojo Siwa, Greg? Joe Coy. I'm sorry, Greg. I'm not following you. Who the heck is Joe Coy? Joe Coy. All right, let me know. Richard, do you and Dave know each other? What was I talking about anyway? I was trying to make a point about something and I forgot. What's everybody up to today? And by the way, here's a question for you, Greg. I don't know who Joe Coy is. Is that like short for something? Do I need to Google it? Is that their actual name? I have no clue who that is, man. Joe Coy. Somebody help me out. Dave, if you lock down everybody, the virus won't just disappear. No, it's true. It won't. I mean, I don't know, man. It also, won't spread to you if you're not subjected to it either. So, it's a catch-22. Nathan Fishboy, how you doing, man? Hope all is well. All is well, Nathan. Thanks for being here. Was just decided to do this, Nathan, on a whim because my state of Washington here just announced yesterday afternoon that they are closing all schools until April the 27th. So I have 2 kids, and they won't be going to school for at minimum. It sounds like 5 weeks. So I decided to just, pop on here, being a news guy and all. I thought I would pop on here and just have a little chat with everybody about coronavirus. And my neck is killing me. And I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning anyway. So here we are. He's a comedian. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Greg. That sucks, man. Joe Coy's a comedian. Brilliant. Netflix. Okay, I'll have to check him out. I did not know who that was. Usually viruses have a genetic lifespan regardless of how many people are infected. Since it's been going for a while, here's hoping that it dies soon. Yeah, that's a good point, Ridge. And the other thing I thought that I saw about this particular virus is that they think with warmer weather, it doesn't do as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but that is something I believe we've reported on, which obviously would bode well for those of us that are trying to move into spring and eventually summer. So I forget what I thought it was, like 80 something degrees was it would kill it. I don't know, that could have been fake news too. I should probably look that up or before I talk about it, but Fish Boy, I heard that too. All the sporting events and public events have been canceled. You're in a small town yourself, 4 hours away from capital city. 3 cases of people have it in your town. Are you talking about you're outside of DC, Fish Boy? Nathan? Would you rather me call you Nathan or Fish Boy? Or the whole thing? I like to usually just go with one. Let me know. Hey, Francesco is in the house. Hey, Francesco, are you in Italy? I think you are. How you doing, man? I know you guys are getting hit pretty hard right now. You were noticing that, Ridge? Yeah, I've heard that the warmer climates they're not good for this virus, meaning like it can't thrive and survive there. So, you know, hopefully, obviously, those of us here in the northern hemisphere, hopefully it'll as it gets warmer, it'll kick its butt. Excuse me. Francesco, glad you're here. Hope you're doing okay, my friend. I hope your family and all your friends are okay. I think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're from Italy, which is one of the hardest hit countries right now. In fact, if we go back to my little map here, oops, wrong one. Here we go. Italy right now, 17,660 confirmed cases. Again, this is Johns Hopkins University of Medicine. I think the best resource for up to the minute information. Really recommend this, you guys. If you're curious about the breakdown of where things are being affected and death tolls and all of that. But 1,266 deaths in Italy, the second most by far, behind China, of course. Oh, and yeah, you can see the hot spots by this map. I mean, it's really all of Europe, China, the Middle East. There, obviously, Iran. The U.S. is really getting. But to the point of the warmth, if you look, and I mean, as of yesterday, I didn't notice much in South America. Now this is starting to show some more active cases in South America. Still, though, not to the extent or as well as Africa, Australia. I know you have some as well, but not as bad as you can see here. Some of the bigger cities, Sydney, Melbourne. But I mean, look at Africa, like hardly any. There's a little down south there as you get yourself down towards Cape Town. A bit, a little bit of a hot spot there in Brazil, a couple in Argentina, Chile, Peru. But for the most part, and even Mexico, you can see not a lot confirmed there yet either. And then here's my, but look, you can see it's Seattle. I'm over here. Spokane is over here, right near about 30 miles away from the Idaho border. And there's a huge mountain range, the Cascade Mountains, that run right here. So we haven't seen a ton in the eastern part of the state, but in the western part, they have. And in fact, 37 deaths in my state of Washington, 570 cases. 25 of those deaths actually happened at a nursing center over here near Seattle. So that's been the biggest trouble spot. All right, I'm back to the chat here. Nathan, lucky for up north. We just finished summer down here, mate, so I'll have to wait 9 months for it to warm up. Oh. I just did your town? Oh, okay. So I'm going to put together the fact that you say mate and that I did your town, that you're Australian. Is that right, Nathan? Maybe Sydney, Melbourne? Angel, you work at the Talking Stick Arena in Phoenix. All sporting events, public events have either been postponed or canceled, and you work at the concession stand as a cashier. Wow, Angel. So basically, you're out of a job for a while. Are they, what are they doing for the employees, Angel? Anything? Are they doing anything to help you guys out while this is happening? Yeah, Australia. You got it, Nathan. Right on, man. South Australia. Hey, guys, if you know some people that would be interested in this conversation, be sure to share it out and get them in here. I'm finding it really interesting. This is kind of what I was hoping for. People talking about, like what Angel did there, talking about some of the things that they're seeing in their particular area. What do you guys think about all of the sporting events being canceled? I mean, everything, major sports, NBA, golf, the NCAA basketball tournament. I feel so bad for those seniors that, here in Spokane, we have a perennial powerhouse, Gonzaga University, that are in the tournament every year. And they, the seniors that were so looking forward to making a run, and they don't even get to try now. It's such a bummer. I get it. Look, you're exposing a lot of people when you get together in an arena, but I liked what they were going to do. They were going to originally, with these things, they were going to just play in front of no fans. Now I know that'd be weird, and there's no money for everybody, but at least the kids get to play. Gosh, I just feel terrible for them, because there is no, for the seniors, this is it, The professional sports, they'll be okay to take a break. It's not a big deal. But they canceled the Masters. Lennon's Kitchen is in the house, says his local mayor in San Antonio has banned all public gatherings and has moved their fiesta to November. Okay, so that's cool that at least they're keeping things. Like, some things are just getting canceled and they're not going to be done. I think it was Ridge earlier was talking about a 70-year running tradition fundraiser for a firehouse that's canceled. Again, I was supposed to, if you're just joining us, Lennon, thanks for being here. I was supposed to MC an event tonight for juvenile diabetes, a camp that they have every summer. It was a fundraiser, $100,000+ would be raised. And it was supposed to be at the convention center here in my town. They were expecting 400+ people. And, the governor of Washington yesterday said no events over 250 people, canceled schools statewide until late April. So it got canceled. So those kids are going to miss out on, I'm sure that they'll find a way to make it work. I hope that they can keep the camp going, but you take away that kind of money for a nonprofit, that hurts. Nathan, look at the Olympic torch that was lit up with no one around, just like down here. They're stopping all football games, canceling small town events. This town was meant to have a 2-week town event, and it's gone now. That's too bad. That's really too bad. And again, I'm not passing any judgment on these decisions. I can't, as a member of the media. I gotta kind of play it down the middle here, guys. But I see both sides. I see the ups and downs of some of these decisions that are being made. And I just feel for the things like that, the small town events that people look forward to every year, the fundraisers for kids with diabetes that again I was supposed to be at. The things like that really hurt. They really do. Yeah, Lyndon, we were talking about the store shelves earlier. It's crazy. My wife laid down the law on the TP use here in the house. Because she couldn't find any. So yeah, that seems to be basically a worldwide event as far as the shelves getting bare. I mean, it's crazy. And actually, if you go back in the chat, Lennon, there was a theory on that Richard said it's psychological, and it was very interesting. Yeah, Nathan, if you're not aware, I am a TV news anchor, and I was talking about the media coverage earlier here in the stream, and because of where I'm at in Washington State, where again so much has happened with this, again the entire state school system shut down for over a month, the events all canceled. It's dominating our news coverage, and you can certainly understand and appreciate that. If you're in a state or an area, a country where it's not really an issue, and all you're seeing is coronavirus coverage, yeah, I could understand why people would be like, okay, enough already. Tell me something that I care about. But from where I'm at, it's certainly the top story. It's certainly the thing that is affecting everybody's lives. And I like to, and it's not always my decision, mind you, but I like to base what I think is newsworthy on what affects the most people. And so there's oftentimes that we do stories that really don't affect a lot of people. But it's breaking news or what have you. It's got some kind of an interesting story behind it, or it's got some incredible video. And so we use it, and I get that. But to me, what's the most important is what affects the most people. And certainly right now in my area, coronavirus is affecting the most people and dominating the news coverage. Maybe not because people have it, and that's the argument. Like, I don't, there's no cases where I'm at right now. Like where I live right now, there are not any confirmed cases. Now there might be some, we don't know them yet. But there aren't any that have been confirmed by the health department. However, all of the different things that are happening because of it, because of the governor's decision to shut schools down and things like that, that's affecting people's lives. Parents now have to figure out, what am I going to do with my kids for the next month? So that makes it very newsworthy. And that's why it's driving our coverage so much. Well, Nathan, yeah, people see everybody else, going crazy, and they go crazy. And there is a bit of the mob mentality, if you will, when it comes to that. And that's why we start to see things like store shelves being bare and things. But hey, what's up, Mafia's Finest TV checking in? Did you just wake up, my man? Just rolling out of bed on this Saturday morning? Oh, what time's your live stream, Mafia? Streets of Italy are bare. Yeah, it is surreal to see some of the video of of areas that are typically just swarming with people, and it's like a ghost town. It's so weird, you guys. Well, grab a cup of coffee and hang out with me for a little bit, you guys. Nope, never. When's your live stream, Mafia? You said you're doing one today. What time? I'm glad I did this, you guys. It feels good. I mean, it feels good for me to be able to just kind of not really rant, but just have a casual, open conversation about this stuff, because when I'm doing it on the news, like I have to be so, it's just all factual. And I've actually really stressed that to my producers. Look, let's not, over sensationalize this stuff. That's one of the things that drive me crazy that I see a lot of times, not necessarily where I work, but news in general, is the sensationalism of it. And it drives me absolutely up the wall. Like, don't do that. That's what creates the hysteria and stuff. Just give people the facts and let them draw their own conclusions as to how it affects their lives or what they should do. Just tell them what's happening without any kind of bias, without any kind of slant, and let them use their own minds. That's what our organization tries to do, and that's what I certainly try to do as a journalist, because that is the most important thing to me, to be honest with you. 11 o'clock, Mafia's Finest is doing a live stream today, you guys. I want you to check that out. He's always up and stressing. What are you stressing about, man? Coronavirus, or wife on you about something? What's going on? Snowing like crazy in Kalispell Ridge. We got snow yesterday. Started snowing around lunchtime. I'm in the basement. I haven't even gone up to look to see how much we got, but there was a couple of inches on the ground when I went to bed last night. And it was still snowing. Pretty big storm and windy. Is it windy where you're at too, Ridge? We were getting some serious winds. Wow. Nathan says that there were fights in a shop over toilet paper. Wow. I'm not surprised. It's funny. I was thinking about that just a little bit ago, before I went on. I'm like, you watch, there's going to be brawls breaking out over this stuff. It's like, what is it? The Friday after Thanksgiving, when everybody goes crazy and buys all the stuff. Sometimes there's fights as people are trying to get to it first. You don't drink coffee, you like your body. Well, I stopped liking my body a long time ago, Mafia. What can I say? Angel doesn't know what they're planning on doing for the employees. Again, if you're just checking, Angel works at an arena that has canceled all their events. And so he's essentially out of a job right now. Yeah, still employed, but they're not having any events, so there's no work. Yeah, I get that. That's tough, man. I hope that they help you guys out in the interim, Angel, and get you through this. That's 11 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, Mafia. Gotcha. I went on the air about an hour ago, almost exactly an hour ago here, Pacific time. So it was 5:45. Early bird gets the worm, man. Yeah, I think it's the same storm, Ridge. It was kind of a 1-2 punch. There was a big storm coming out of the Pacific, and that had some winds and some moisture, and then some an Arctic storm coming out of the north, and they kind of converged, and that's why the temperatures have plummeted too. Our temperatures here in the Northwest dropping 20 to 30 degrees with this. Doing channel reviews. All right, cool, man. Well, I'll definitely be checking that out. Coffee's not for everybody, Mafia. I get it. I get it. I need it though, man. I get up at 2:00 in the morning every day to go to work, dude. I'm on live TV at 4 a.m. I got to have something. And then I got to do 4 hours of TV. So not only do I need the pick me up to start, but then I've got to like power through. I do 2 hours for Montana. Then I have an hour to prepare for my 2-hour show that airs in Spokane and the eastern half of Washington and North Idaho. So that's actually a lot of times when I'm communicating with you is in that hour break between 6 and 7 a.m. Pacific. So it'd be 9 and 10 your time. When you and Ridge are doing your premieres, that's the hour that I have to prep for my next show. And I go up and I walk around the top part of the second level of our building and get a little exercise for like 15 minutes. I just do loops and I'll stop and stretch. And sometimes that's when I watch the videos. I usually watch Rich Haney's vlog at that point, because usually he's uploaded it. And then sometimes you guys are doing your premieres. Angel says there's been 10 confirmed cases so far in Arizona. It's been raining for 4 days. Wow. Really? It's been raining for 4 days there, huh? You would think that rain and stuff would hurt a virus. I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor, but like you would think just, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. I don't even know why I said that. What the hell do I know? I'm a TV news anchor. Let's see here. Let's go back to the map for a quick second here, guys, because I just want to see if anything has developed. Again, Johns Hopkins University here. Zoom that back out. Let's see. Where was it? 2,174 confirmed U.S. cases. At last check, there were here in Washington, where I'm at, 37 deaths. Again, 25 of those at a nursing center on the west side. This school shutdown statewide is affecting 1.2 million students. I got 2 of them. I mean, we're actually okay. My kids are old enough to... Why do I keep doing that? I got to be honest. I love this Streamlabs or StreamYard. I have Streamlabs. But this, you guys, if you're into live streaming or you're thinking about getting into it, it's free. This program is free, StreamYard. Okay. And now if you do the free version, you'll have the little StreamYard logo up here, and you're somewhat limited. You can only do 20 hours a month of live streaming, and you can't do custom backgrounds and things like that. But I mean, oh well, it's super slick, you guys. I can break this up into, different like things here. I can bring that up full. You can screen share whatever's on your computer. I actually find it far more user-friendly than OBS, which is what, when I first started this whole thing, my son, Maddie the kid, he was doing some gaming, and I was live streaming him gaming, and, with green screen and all that. And we were using OBS, Streamlabs, and it's just a little more, you can probably do more on it, but it's not as user-friendly. This is super user-friendly. Hey, we have a new person in the chat. For Love of Cats is here. Thank you so much. Works with people with disabilities, and they said I could have been exposed, but the person hasn't been tested. Oh man, just showing symptoms, cough, and fever. See, that's for Love of Cats. That's scary because you'd like to know, right? I mean, goodness gracious, get them tested, or get yourself tested. I can tell you that it looks like the testing is going to become more abundant within the next few days. I was talking about this earlier this morning. They've privatized things a little bit to where they're getting some companies to help create the tests and get those things out. And so hopefully testing will become more readily available to people, maybe like yourself. But gosh, thinking about you, I hope that everything's okay. And those with disabilities, depending on the disability, but certainly older people with underlying health conditions are at a much higher risk of getting this and of having it be more of an issue for them. One of the how you stream labs. What do you mean, Ridge? How you stream labs, even custom RTMP. Yeah, I really like this StreamYard. It's really easy to jump on. One of the things that was brought up yesterday when a decision was being made where I live, whether or not to close down schools. And again, the local health district did not recommend shutting down schools. They did a press conference. They said, they said, let's put an end to big groups of 250 or more. But they said, we recommend keeping schools open. Well, not that long after that, the governor of the state declared all schools be shut down. And one of the things that people were bringing up during this live press conference with the county that said not to shut them down, a lot of people were saying, well, why would you wait until somebody gets it in a school and then it could potentially spread like wildfire? And the other factor was that just because it doesn't affect kids as much or it's not, kids aren't dying from this yet, at least not really that I've seen. It's more for the older people, but they could then expose parents, grandparents, people who are more at risk, which, I mean, all valid points that I think people were bringing up. And maybe that is one of the reasons why the governor did what he did. I'm not sure, but meant to say you use Streamlabs. Okay. Yeah. Look, Streamlabs is great. I'm not very good with it, Ridge. I need a tutorial on how to use Streamlabs a little bit better. I can pop on StreamYard here and boom, I'm live as fast as I want to be. I really like it. I'm actually thinking about doing the paid version so I could put in my own logo and some custom backgrounds. I don't think it's too expensive. But for now, I'm just using the free version. This is free. I can play videos and all kinds of stuff. Any other questions, you guys, on or comments on coronavirus, on just maybe sharing some things that are happening where you live, how it's affecting your lives? This is just an opportunity to talk about this stuff and share with everybody kind of the experiences that we're going through here with it. Whether you're overly concerned about it or not, that isn't really the point. Just more of like, how's it affecting you, essentially. You need to, yeah. Well, hey man, look, Ridge, maybe you should think about trying this StreamYard. I'm telling you, it's an online based thing. Like, you don't even download it. It's a website. Super easy. You can connect. Now, one of the things that I noticed actually before I did this stream, I connected my Media Authority account to it as well. And by the way, if you guys haven't checked that out, that is my other channel, Media Authority. And eventually the videos that I do that are instructional videos on YouTubing and journalism are going to go over there strictly. Right now, I'm putting them on both platforms, both pages, channels, just so they can get some views. But I found that I was able to link that to this as well. But in order, if I wanted to live stream to both channels, this will let me do that. But I have to have the paid version. So that's another reason. Like if you wanted to stream across multiple platforms, if you wanted to stream on your YouTube channel, on your Facebook page, hell, even Twitter, I think you could do all of that with this program with the paid version, which is kind of cool. For love of cats, thanks for the reply. They should have drive-through testing in Walmart and Target parking lots next week, according to the press conference. Yeah, I saw that too. And, that's going to make a big difference. That's going to be huge as far as getting people tested and getting a better grasp of the, how many people are affected by this, infected. Richard, general experience so far with patients that he's come across that everyone's quite chilled and relaxed, not too worried. Some people are, but in general, most people seem to be taking it in stride. Yeah, that's good, Richard. And you're, again, on the front line. So he's seeing this and dealing with it on a firsthand basis. And, here's to you, bud, for what you do. That is, in times like this, that can be a kind of a scary job. And I mean, it's a scary job anytime, but like, especially now. And so we appreciate it very much. Guys, I'm going to grab my coffee's cold. I'm going to grab another cup here and we'll continue for a little bit longer. I'll be right back. All right. I like coffee, but I don't like cold coffee. That's for darn sure. For love of cats, what part of the country are you in, if you don't mind sharing? You don't have to be specific, but whereabouts are you? What other kind of things are you seeing where you live as far as impacts on daily life? What's everybody doing today, by the way? It is Saturday after all. If you don't have to work, what do you got going on? I actually don't think we have any plans. I'm literally, you know what I might do today? My son, again, Maddie the kid, if you go on my YouTube channel, by the way, if you haven't yet, guys, if you don't mind, it's not why I'm doing this today, but if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up. All you got to do is click out of the chat for a second. Give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm pretty sure all of you have. But if you haven't, please make sure you do that. And also check out my other channel, Media Authority, and connect with me on other social media. You guys, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, all of that. And again, it's all Rants with Rogers and Media Authority. You're in Orange County, New York. Okay, so you guys, now I'm not familiar for love of cats, where Orange County, New York is in particular, but I know that New York has been another area pretty hard hit here in the U.S. So I would imagine you're seeing some things that are affecting your daily life because of all of this. Richard, you're writing an essay, 2,000 words left to write on a 3,000 word essay. So you're a third of the way done. Well, if you don't mind me asking, why are you writing an essay? What's that all about? Oh, I was going to tell you. So my son, he likes to play games. He's 7. He's actually a really good gamer, you guys. Like, the kid's got some serious skills. He plays Fortnite a lot, I know, right? But actually, he's got me into it now too. And I think we might do a little live stream with him today. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Maddie the Kid. I might even play with him, and we'll stream it live. I don't know that I'm going to do that on Rants with Rogers. We'll probably do that on his channel. So it's just Maddie the Kid with 2 D's is his channel. So if you want to subscribe to that, you can. And actually, it's usually kind of fun when we play games together. He gets mad and I get mad, and sometimes we rage quit. They call it rage quitting when you get mad and you just quit playing. That's a new term that I just learned from him the other day. Evidence-based practice essay for your qualification to upgrade to full paramedic. Oh, wow, Richard. That's impressive, man. Well, good luck with that. And oh, hey guys. How are you?
What are you doing?
We're having a coronavirus chat. Yeah. I'm going to wrap it up here in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. My wife and son are up. How about that? Coffee shops and restaurants are closed because of coronavirus, says Jelly Duck. Wow. And again, Jelly Duck, trying to keep it all straight here. You are, was it Arizona that is where you're at? Yeah. I mean, it really is, having a huge economic impact. That's the other thing here in Spokane, where I'm at. Not only did they cancel the NCAA tournament, basketball tournament, men's and women's, but we were a host site for both. The first 2 rounds for both the men and the women were going to be played. One of the sites was here in Spokane. I mean, we're talking about millions. Oh, Kuwait. I'm sorry, Jelly Duck. You're in Kuwait. That's right. Wow. Yeah, you guys have had some. In fact, I think there's some stats on Kuwait. I want to look that up real quick. But we're talking about millions of dollars that they were counting on coming into the economy, gone now. So the economic impact of all of this is huge, obviously. Kuwait, the latest numbers on Kuwait. In fact, here, Jelly Duck, I'm going to bring this up. I saw Kuwait on here. Okay, 100 confirmed cases. Again, confirmed cases, 100 in Kuwait. As far as deaths go, this is Johns Hopkins University, updated this real time, or as real time as you can get, I guess. Kuwait, do they have any confirmed deaths, Jelly Duck? If they do, it's way down here on the list. I thought I saw them though on this list earlier. Maybe I didn't. Not seeing Kuwait. So maybe they don't have any confirmed deaths in Kuwait yet, but they do have 100 confirmed cases. And so, we'll keep our fingers crossed for you there that things don't get worse. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a ton of people, but That's the other thing too, you guys, is, when you compare the numbers that we're seeing right now, again, it's right now, but when you compare those with what the flu does typically, I mean, I think already in the US, this flu season alone, 20,000 people have died. 20,000, and we're talking about how many deaths right now in the US? I mean, it's under 100. So, I mean, big picture, you kind of got to keep that in perspective. I mean, right now there's only 2,174 confirmed cases in the US. That's not deaths. Again, 20,000 people have died from the flu this year alone. So, yeah, 0 deaths, Jelly Duck. So that's good. But again, it's not so much about, I mean, it is about obviously life and death, but for most people, it's the impact that it's going to have on your daily lives. Not being able to get toilet paper, not being able to go on a date, as we heard Greg talk about earlier with his wife, because it got the thing they were going to go to, the comedian they were going to go see got canceled. Not having a job to go to right now because the arena is shut down and that's where you work because all the events have been canceled. It's the things like that. The kids not being able to go to school now. Those are the things that I think people really care about the most, in the sense that that's how it affects them. Obviously, people care about the fact that people have died from this. I mean, there's no question, and that's obviously the worst thing. But for most of us, it's the little things that affect our everyday lives that we're focused on, and so that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to do this live stream this morning is just to kind of provide an avenue for you guys to let everybody know what's going on where you live and how it's affecting you. And so I really do appreciate you guys being here for this. Again, it was just a spur of the moment thing. I literally tweeted out that I was going to do it. I think it was 5 minutes before I went live, and we've had some people in here the whole time, and you guys are the best. I really do appreciate it. And is this a good idea? Like, would you guys be interested in me doing this again, maybe in a few days or a week, depending on how things are going? I'd be more than happy to. I'm enjoying it. It's really, honestly, it's really helpful for me as a journalist too, to get your guys' perspective and see what's going on around the world. That's one of the cool things about this community too. My community, it's not real large, but it's worldwide. I mean, we've got people from Kuwait and the UK and Japan earlier, obviously the US, Australia. I mean, it's like, wow, we're covering some territory here, which is really cool. I mean, it's really cool. One of the things about YouTube that, people maybe don't really talk about a lot, but Italy, Francesco. Yeah. Hey, I know it is, man. And, that's why I was asking earlier. I hope that you and all of your loved ones are okay right now. Francesco's in Italy, and guys, in fact, let's take a look here at Italy. Their numbers just keep going up drastically every single day. Right now, 17,660 confirmed cases, and the second most deaths in the world, with 1,266. So guys, if you're a religious person or what have you, say a prayer for Francesco there in Italy and his family, and hopefully they come out of this okay. Richard, thanks so much for your contributions. You really provide an awesome perspective, given what you do, and thank you so much, man. Hey, everybody, raise a glass or whatever to Richard. Again, out there as a EMS front lines worker out there dealing with this stuff on a daily basis, risking his own well-being. So have a good walk. And yeah, everybody, wash your hands. That is great advice. Francesco, you are locked in the house. Yeah, you guys are on like complete shutdown, right? I think if the last I heard with Italy is literally people aren't allowed to do anything. It's like quarantine. Thank you for Love of Cats. Thank you for your prayers. And yeah, Jelly Duck, thank you. Well, guys, my wife and son just woke up, so I probably should wrap this up. I hate to. We got the most people in the chat that I've had the whole time right now, but it's been really cool to get your guys' perspective. I think I'm going to do this again, and I don't know when. I'll try to plan it a little better and send out some stuff on social. But yeah, make sure you follow me there so you know, and you're notified when I decide to go live. I'm also working on some new videos for your viewing pleasure. I really appreciate all of your support, you guys. You're the best. And I will talk to you all soon. So just be careful. And, I'll do my best as a journalist to not overhype all of this, but try to bring you the facts and keep you updated on what's going on with all of this. I think that's the most important thing. So, Jelly Duck, thank you so much. I will stay safe. You guys as well. And to echo what Richard said, wash your hands. Oh, Jimmy, you just got in here. You missed the stream. Shoot, man. Jimmy from Sweden. Real quickly, Jimmy, before I do wrap it up here then, since you're here, what are you seeing in Sweden right now, Jimmy? How is this affecting your daily life for those that are interested in what's happening there? Are you guys in self-quarantine like they are in Italy? Are your schools shutting down? What kind of things are you seeing, Jimmy? Nathan, thank you very much. You stay safe as well, my friend. Really appreciate you being here. And I'll be visiting your channel soon, by the way. Francesco, you take care, my friend, and thank you for that. You are as well, and we are thinking about you, bud. And you'll get through this, man. Just do the things they're asking you to do as far as, washing your hands and all of that good stuff. It's really all you can do at this point, but we're saying prayers for you as Italy does seem to be getting hit really hard by the coronavirus right now. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Jimmy, sorry you missed the stream, bud. We'll catch you next time, though. I'm going to be doing this again. I think it's been worthwhile. I think it's good for people to have an avenue of to just kind of say what's on their mind, and that's why I did this. So bigger gatherings are closing. Yeah, like hockey matches. Okay, that seems to be pretty standard now. That's the same here, Jimmy, and a lot of other people have said that where they live too. So you guys take care. I will see you very soon, promise, and have a great rest of your Saturday. And thanks again for your support. Take care.